Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we will explore or we will understand URL in Oracle Apex. So there are two types of URLs in Oracle Apex. First one is user friendly and the other one is non-user friendly. So to understand these types of URLs, log into your Oracle Apex workspace and select the application. And then move to edit application definition. And here you can see in the definition we have a option of friendly URLs. Right now it is switched off, but you can switch it on. First go with the non-user friendly URLs and run your application. So you can see this is the URL of your page. Right now we are on this page. So in this URL, this is the basically server on which our application is hosted. And then we have PLS. Basically this PLS is the indicator to use the mod PL SQL cartridge. And then we have Apex. Apex is a database access descriptor name, or we can say DAD. That describes how HTTP server connects to the database server so that it can fulfill an HTTP request. In short, we can say Apex, this Apex keyword basically describes how our HTTP server on which our application is deployed will connect to the database to fulfill the request. And then we have F question mark P equal to. Basically, this is a prefix we use for Oracle Apex. And then we have 26350. This is basically application ID. You can verify from this. You can see this is the application ID. Open your any page, and here you can see 26350. So basically this is the ID of this application. And then we have 1. Basically this is page number, so you can move to this. So this is the page on which we are right now. And then we have a long, this one, session ID. Basically this is the, we can say, session ID or session number. So this is URL. Now move to your application properties and edit your application definition, and then friendly URLs. This time we will see user friendly URLs. So run your application again. So in this way, this is self-descriptive URLs, or we can say, is it easy to read? This is your workspace, this is your application, this is your page name, and then we have session ID. So it is a very descriptive way. Okay, so most of the time you use alternative URLs, sometimes user friendly and sometimes non-user friendly. Okay, So the next option we will explore is F question mark P syntax to link pages. For example, I want to move from one page to another page. In that case, I will use this F question mark P syntax to link pages. Okay. So in F question mark P, we have a specific syntax. For example, open any notepad and open it. Okay. So now, first of all, we have F question mark P equal to, and then we have application ID. Okay. After that, we have page ID. Every component is separated by colon. So then we have session ID, and after session ID we have request, and then we have debug option, then we have clear cache, and then we have item names, and then we have item values, and then if we want to add, we can add printer friendly. So basically this is our URL when we link pages from or we can say we call from one page to uh, one page from another page. So now we modify this URL, copy this URL, Control C, and paste it in your application. I will explain all the elements. First, I will explain it how we can move from one page to another page. So first of all, create a blank page. Then we need name of this page. Name of this page is base page, from which we will move to next page, and page number is 12. Okay. Create a button and name it redirect. Okay. And then here behavior of this button is redirect to URL. We want to move to specific URL and paste your URL here. Okay. And okay. So in this way, when we click on this page, we will move to next page. Okay. So now let's understand this syntax. Basically, app ID is the application ID, and page ID is page ID which on which page we want to redirect, and then we need to provide the session ID. Session ID, we can pass session ID. In the URL we will pass and then we have session, and then we have dot. Basically this is the syntax when we want to get the value of the session ID in static context. But if you want to use this if you want to get the session ID in your PLSQL code, you can use this v function and then pass the parameter session. So in this way you will get the session ID. And if you want to use or get the value of your session in bind variables, in that case you need to use colon and then app underscore session. Okay, so there are three ways for getting session ID. So because we are using it in static context, so I will use it with and. Okay, and control v and dot. Okay, in this way we will get the session ID. And then page ID. For example, I want to move on page ID 15. Okay, and then application ID. So application ID of this is 26350. 26350. And then we have request. What is request? Basically, when we click on page, it sets the value of request. Each application button on your page sets the value of the request to the name of the button, which enables accept processing to reference the name of the button when user clicks it. You can reference request using the same syntax as I told you earlier. For example, in static context, you will use and then request dot, and then we have same v function. You can use the v function if you want to use it in PLSQL context. And if you want to use it as bind variables, you can use it as bind variable. Okay, like this. So this time I am not going to use this value. So I am removing it from this. If you don't want to pass any parameter, you can just remove that. And then we have debug. There are two values which we can use for debug, yes or no. So basically displays application processing details if we enable a debug option. If you don't want to see application details, you can disable it by setting its value to no. Similarly, in static context, you can use the same pattern like v function, bind variables, and notation to get the value. So right now I am not going to use this. Then you can use clear cache. Clear cache basically clears the cache as name suggests. This basically sets the value of all items to null. So the next option is I am not using clear cache this time. Then we have item names and item values, and then we have printer friendly. So item names, for example, this is the page from which I want to redirect to another page, and name of that page is 15. So let's create another page which is 15, create page, blank page, and set its ID to 15 and name is redirected page and create the page. Let's create two items on this page. First item is ID and the next item or text field is name. Okay, save and move to your page 12 again. You can search your page here. This is the base page from which we will redirect, and this is our URL. So I want to set values in items which is available on page 15. So names of those items are P15 ID and then P15 name. Okay, so copy these items. P515 ID and name. And then we want to pass values. We can get values from the items which are available on page 12, or we can pass hardcode values. For example, ID is 1 and name is Arshad. And then I don't want to pass printer friendly. Basically, printer friendly determines if the page is being rendered in printer friendly mode or not. So we can pass two values, yes or no. So this is the URL. Control C, copy this URL and paste it on your page 12 button. So here, and paste your URL here. So click OK and run your page. So you can see we have a button on this page. When I click on this page, so it is redirected to page 15. How I know it is page 15? Here you can read this syntax. This is our application ID. Then we have page 15. This is page ID. Then we have session ID, and then you can see we have two page items, ID and name, and then its value, Arshad and ID 1. And then we have checksum. CS equal to means it's checksum. So in this way, you can use URL to redirect to other pages. I hope you learned something useful in this lecture. Thank you so much.